channel. Now recording. Beep, boop,
think
boop.
he's
Oh, wow.
I think he's a
Yeah.
TikTok or something like that. I don't know exactly what it's called, but
We were talking about Jeff's social media prior to recording, just so you know, everybody.
I don't really use TikTok, but I mean I've been on there a couple times.
I used to use it, but not anymore, really.
Like ADHD simulator.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just
I have enough ADHD as it is that I don't know if I need more of it.
Who doesn't?
That's
Did
true.
somebody else just come in?
Oh, sorry. What did you say?
Did somebody else just come in?
Is there?
Oh, that's like the Craig bot. I have a Craig bot that records.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Craig the Bear, yes. Craig the Bear bots.
I had a couple other people who might show up, but they might.
Yeah,
Who knows when they're gonna come?
I'm on TikTok. I stream a little bit on there. I'm in a TikTok agency. I got 4,500 followers on TikTok.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
I just post motivational and sometimes Christian content on there.
Yeah.
I need to work on my YouTube station because I need to get. That's what I need to do. I need to get over the 50 subscriber mark so I can go live on YouTube. So, but I only have 18 subscribers. Yeah,
So it's the 50 subscriber mark that allows people to go live.
on
Wait.
YouTube, right? And 1,000 on. Well, it used to be 1,000. I think it's 500 now on TikTok.
That's funny. I collaborated with a YouTube channel where we had less than 50 subscribers and we were still able to live stream. I guess it must be different in America.
Right.
I suppose it would help to build an audience.
Yeah. When they changed the rules here, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, I got an email saying they were going to take away my live access because I did not have the followers, not followers with the subscribers. Right.
I guess America has different standards when it comes to their audiences. I mean, I know that if you want to get monetized, the number of watch hours necessary for monetization is different from the UK to America. In the UK, it's 4,000 watch hours. In the US, it's 3,000, from what I remember.
Right.
All right. Whatever it is you're doing, obviously you want to reach out to people and bring them the word of hope that'll actually bring meaning and coherence and sense into their lives.
Right.
So at the very least, you'll have motivation to keep it up.
You say that you're, I don't want to hog all the time here. You said you're from Scotland.
Yes, I am. Scotland,
Yeah,
yes.
I've always wanted to visit there. Very cool place.
Yeah. It's got quite the vast range of hills. The water is very fresh. Bit of a cooler climate, and plenty of space for quite the history lesson, so we say. Yeah.
Right. One of my favorite cities to study when I was in grade school is in Scotland because how cool it sounds when you say it. And so I've always wanted to visit that town, but I don't know if that ever is going to happen because I don't have I don't have international money to be traveling across the sea. But yeah.
Not yet. Oh, he's gone. Poof, vanished. Oh, wait, and he's back.
Always wanted
Right.
to visit Glasgow.
Glasgow, yeah. Glasgow's the biggest city in Scotland. Next to that would be Edinburgh. Edinburgh's probably the more historically significant city out of the two. But Glasgow's the bigger city, yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to visit, but sorry, Phil. Go ahead. It's your group. I'll let you lead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You go ahead. You can talk about myself. It's fine.
No, go for it. Go for it. This is your time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so I guess I can ask you guys. I don't know. I said 4:00. Who knows? They might like 3 people supposedly they're gonna come, but I don't know where they are.
We'll wait and see.
Maybe I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. So is there any discussion topic that you guys want to talk about?
We were bringing up some ideas prior to recording this, and certainly things I can bring up will probably be mentioned further. I mean, we could talk about the show you're watching, Attack on Titan, but at the same time,
Yeah.
probably recommend finishing the show first, unless you want to talk about first impressions or something like that. At the same time, we were also mentioning topics about dating and topics about you wanting to mention your RPG game. So the floor is all yours, I guess.
Well, look, I mean, I got tons of crap I can come up with, but they're always usually similar. But yeah. Okay, right. Okay, so I guess. Oh, Jeffrey, have you ever seen Attack on Titan? Or
Say that again?
Have you ever heard of or seen the anime Attack on Titan?
I've never seen any MMA before.
Never seen any anime.
You've never watched any anime before?
No.
Okay.
Well,
okay, that's fine.
First impressions.
Okay. So, to whoever might be out there, probably like my 5 views, right? There's gonna be some spoilers if we talk about it. Okay. Oh, by the way, Scott Stinker, I've seen I know the ending. I've seen I think I'm on half. I'm on season 4 or something like that. I've seen the whole series, but I know all the major spoilers. There's no. We don't have to go into heavy end level spoilers. We can still talk about it.
I think the conversation is leading towards Attack on Titan. Oh, by the way, Jeff, if you are going to get into anime, here's some anime suggestions I would recommend if you want to get into it. Pretty much almost any of the Studio Ghibli movies, I would recommend the ones by Hayao Miyazaki and Isao Takahata, like Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, Porco Rosso, that kind of thing. I would also recommend Cowboy Bebop, Monster, Violet Evergarden, and Vinland Saga, and I'll leave it at that. Anyway.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that one too. Now I'm not that far into it. I had the first book. I've been kind of messing with it, but
are you talking about
Vinland? It seems really cool though, especially the historical realism. Okay.
Oh yeah.
We can talk about. Okay, I have I don't want to go 5 routes at once. Are you just you can talk for a minute? Okay.
Right. I mean, it's kind of interesting how Vinland Saga is portrayed because on the one hand, it's people will say it's not entirely accurate to what happened, but at the same time, it is true in the fact that ancient historical records in Norse history are so vague that people had to refer to local legends in order to make some sense of what exactly happened. I've told the premise of Vinland Saga to a relative of mine who's very fond of history, and I was quite surprised to hear that the majority of what I mentioned was actually true to what was documented. Maybe not so much what happened, to my knowledge, but certainly what was documented as a story, yes. I'm sure actual historians will correct me.
I'm okay with things not being 100% absolute 1-to-1. But I mean, it's also nice if they try to make it somewhat like what it's supposed to be. It's also a fictional, so it's it doesn't have to be exact, but
I mean, yeah. But although even then, you'd have to be in pretty shaky territory depending on the angle you go for, because on the one hand, you got stuff like Braveheart, I suppose, speaking of Scotland, where even though it is clearly historically inaccurate, the majority of people don't mind it as a film that exists because it's really fun and there is just so much passion poured into every act of the movie. But then on the other hand, you'll have absolute slop like Woman King, which is just outright propaganda that's trying to propagate this clearly false narrative if you actually know your history. So it really depends on the approach of dramas that are not historically accurate.
Yeah, I'm okay with the idea of fiction.
Right, yeah.
As long as they at least try to get if they're gonna use a city, at least try to get the right name of a city and some of the like some of the basic main characters or something. At least have them be
Yeah.
presented in a way that you like perceive them as probably being at least
Occupants.
putting effort in trial.
Yeah. Effort helps.
Also,
Yeah.
just make it like really awesome, even if,
Yeah.
even if it's fake.
Effort and awesomeness. Is that too much to ask these days?
Because like, okay, so I'm not sure how familiar you are with Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Oh yeah, I've yet to play the game series, but I've heard good things about the series. Yes.
Like technically, every single thing in it is like a work of fiction. I mean, they use like the basis
Yeah.
of the same like the world's landscape, and they hint at some actual stuff, but most of it's just fiction. But I mean, it's still
Yeah.
really good.
I think it's quite immersive in the fact that even though it's made up, they did go out of their way to research the historical time period for the sake of authenticity. That's why so many people found this particular brand of role-playing game so immersive into the setting. It's one of the best medieval themed franchises, you ask me. I suppose on that note, I think it's very clear that we're not focusing on a singular topic with this recording. We're just having a variety of topics, just a casual conversation.
Fine. I mean,
Uh,
I like this conversation, anyways.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just pointing it out.
That's fun.
um,
I mean, like
uh,
my initial goal was to talk about like role playing stuff.
uh,
So like that's kind of like my initial topic, anyways.
just as well you brought up Kingdom Come Deliverance, because that's a role-playing game. I've yet to play the game series. How is it to play?
Oh, it's pretty immersive. It's honestly I think it's kind of a difficult game for people who aren't familiar with it. It offers you a lot of challenge, but it's also highly immersive because it's very realistic.
Uh,
Um,
yes.
it's still a video game, but like compared to like a lot of other video games, it has like a high immersion, which is kind
Well,
of rare.
I suppose it depends on what standard you're going for. Is it more realistic than some burly guy punching a boulder out of the way?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
In that case, it's more grounded.
Yeah, yeah, because it's very like medieval like there's like basically like no fantasy in it whatsoever, really.
Yeah,
And
very
it uses a lot of like but like the thing is like you gotta find ways to solve your problems like kind of a normal way. Which I mean it's kinda cool.
Mm,
Like, you know, then it has a really complex like combat system.
right.
And
Okay.
oh there's a lot of aspects to it. I mean I really like, but I mean it's also kind of tedious to some people I feel like too. But like there's also like you can eat and drink and you can also sleep. I mean some of these things they're not like super complicated, but I mean they immerse you enough that like you kind of they have a routine kind of like NPCs have routines and so do you. Um
Right.
and like sometimes when you fight you get like a bunch of blood on you, so you can like wash them off in it's called like a water trough, I think it's called. And you know there's
All
different like
right.
clothing and armor and weapons, and there's a bunch of like usually
All right.
it's real interesting. It's like
Right.
it has limits like what you can really fully do. But there's like
Right.
enough that it's and in the second game they also put a lot of effort in to make it way more expanded. Um
Right.
and
I
there's
suppose
different like
I'm.
dialogue choices, and also depending on like if you were gonna like be intimidating, for example, but you have like kind of like some like your sword maybe like a little bit broken, like or like a little bit like you have some like blood or dirt on you, and like maybe you're angry or something. Like it makes you like you're intimidating might be a little more threatening because like you just were fighting on battle.
Ah.
At the same time, it could be the inverse for persuasion if you go to like the bath and you like washed off, like clean your armor or something, or like you're trying to be a little more nice or friendly. You look and appear a little bit better. People might be more willing to negotiate with you. So it has
All right.
it's like
Butterfly
these
effect.
complexities. Um,
Really need to try it out then. Teaching of consequence, teaching of discipline, all good stuff.
Also, you're like the main character is pretty like he's kind of like a humbled character. He's not like some super glamorous. You wouldn't like really expect this guy to be like some. You're kind of like just some normal, humble little like simple like servant almost. Most people in the world. I mean, there's obviously a complex story, but you're not really depicted as being like important. So, but you still accomplish great deeds by the end of it, anyways.
Right. Apparently, it gives you a premise, a certain character, but then it leaves the rest of the story to you in a sort of choose your own adventure kind of game.
Like tons of quests and stuff too, along with exploring the world and like kind of like upgrading your stuff and it's like skill systems and stuff. I think one of the other W's is that basically in order to earn experience in something, you basically have to do it. So, like everything kind of works together too. So, if you want to get better at like fighting with a sword, you have to like practice fighting with a sword. Versus like in some games, you can just put a skill rank on. You're like, oh, now I'm better at the sword because I just put a rank in it. But in this game, you have to kind of earn your way a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta admire RPGs that actually force you to initiate, put the skill into practice in order to actually level up at that specific skill. That kind of thing was done in like the Elden Ring series and whatnot. But then you have games like the Yakuza series where it's no, all you need to do is literally spend money on yourself, and then you'll get the powers.
Like you can still kind of like get some XP rank up, but like not fighting or something. But like most of the time, like if you're doing a main story or something, you also can train like a trainer. But like it also costs a lot of money to get like a basic training, or you can actually literally train with them.
Just like in real life.
Yeah. But yeah, it's again that these little things that are super immersive. Like yeah, and then you can like you can like repair like equipment. Like you can sharpen a sword.
Nice. Very good.
There's like there's different types of foods. You have like a food meter that'll go down, and also they give you a bunch of buffs and debuffs for what you do. I think all these little things make it immersive. Like also like you can drink alcohol, for example, and sometimes that's triggering, but like and then like, you can get drunk, and that can have a negative effect on you. Obviously, right? But like, but then there's always like complex layers of different stuff. Like you can make these little potions. Like they like an herbalism alchemy thing where you like go through and make potions.
Alchemy was all the rage back in the day, yes.
I think it's kind of like, a little more nowadays too, though.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they give it a different name nowadays. But people used to say like alchemists, apothecaries, and stuff like that. Nowadays we say doctors, nurses, and other medical positions of that kind of thing. We need people of the medical fields, as it were.
Yeah. And then you also like they have this really like it's honestly a pretty gorgeous landscape for the most part. And there's like also these sometimes when you like fast travel, there's different like little like pops what we call like random encounters that can happen. They're kind of interesting. It's just like little things that like like you can go out and pick up flowers, give you herbalism, and use the flowers and stuff you pick, you can make potions with them. And then there's like you get these skill ranks with perks. So the perks, and then some of the perks are really interesting. I mean, it depends on your situation. Like early game, you can pick flowers, but eventually you can start getting skill ranks into your strength. But because the game's pretty hard at combat, especially early game, the game's like really hard. I feel like. So if like it doesn't give you a lot of loot and doesn't give you a lot of like ability to fight and do things, so you kind of have to work your way to becoming like a basic soldier almost. So do all these little things, and eventually you kind of work your way up. But you can pick
Right.
flowers, which you can make some of your own. But then you can get some strength, because like it's hard to fight hard to fight. I mean, sometimes they don't even give you good equipment. Oh, you're like you fight a couple basic bandits and they just crush you.
Oh man. Oh man.
I mean, now, like later on, it's not like it's just simplistic. It's so easy to beat some enemies, but so getting some like you gotta get all your skills kind of like they kind of like accumulate together to eventually kind of make you stronger. I feel like, but it takes a little
Right.
bit of time. And like it's just like
Right.
it's like I feel like the immersion's like super high. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly does. Obviously the main implication of the plot is that your character is trying to become a knight. Is it possible to actually take on any other kind of professions in the game?
there's like a darker side.
Oh yeah,
Um,
the classic good side, bad side, and then somewhere in between kind of ending choices,
yeah,
yes.
there's a morally gray kind of a aspect to it, but there's also like you can be like a criminal.
Oh man.
Yeah, because it's a lot of role playing aspects. I mean, I
Right.
generally I try to be like an honorable, like decent person, but
Who
I mean,
doesn't?
well, a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people don't. But yeah, you can steal. You also can murder. There's a lot of terrible crap that can happen in the game.
Mm.
But like just like in real life. I mean,
Aye.
but you also like like there is stealth. Not everything is inherently evil. Like sneaking isn't necessarily a bad thing. But
Right.
like if
Depends
you're
on how you
going
apply
to
it.
someone's house late at night and you're like trying to rob their possessions, like you're doing it for a bad reason. But
I
like
suppose the
stealth isn't inherent.
sneaking could also be used to avoid contact with some stronger enemies until you manage to level yourself up to the necessary stats, right?
For like quests and stuff too. There's a lot of ways you can solve a quest.
Right. Lots
Sometimes
of
being a little bit
possibilities.
morally gray helps you like solve certain quests easier.
Oh, the
But like
easier path.
well, not always even easier, but sometimes if you want to do what you believe is like the right thing to do, you have to do some like sometimes you have to like sneak around or go places and do things or take things from places and put other things back. Not like criminal, right? But like it does help a little bit. Like there
Ah,
might be a quest someone has like a ring or something, and you're like, I'm gonna give this ring from one person to another person, or I'm gonna talk to somebody. It's like you're playing this little like political intrigue little aspect to it, but you can
right.
solve a quest, or maybe you help somebody. I don't know. It's again it plays in the lines of gray, but it is interesting.
Right. You're not giving that ring to someone by the name of Frodo Baggins, are you?
Oh no, no. I mean, I just come up with an example. Like yeah, maybe like you go and like part of the quest is you go to someone else's house and like you maybe like you kind of like you have to go. They have a ring up in their upstairs house. So maybe if you had stealth, you could sneak in and like break it open and take the ring and give it to someone else because like somehow it triggers like different layers of a quest. But like I mean, you're not going into someone's house and like stealing all their money. You're just like
Right.
you take one quest ring. I guess it's like a little bit different. But
Right.
like that's
Okay.
just like an example of like complex layers.
Yeah, layers. Obviously, from everything you've been telling us, this well, kind of sounds like real life because yeah, yeah, because much like real life, you got all these choices right before you, and you have the capacity to do immense good. But like in the game, I presume that the best possible ending you can get is more often than not a hard-earned path where it doesn't come with convenient shortcuts, and you have to actually work your way up to that kind of success. And you can't boast about it. You just have to live life authentically, help people out, and then the game will reward you for your efforts, presumably with some kind of a good ending. That's what the same thing would imply in I mean, like, I mean, of course, we know that works in and of themselves won't save you, so you have to apply the mentality of doing it not out of means to prove yourself, but out of means to actually try to make the world a better place. So,
Yeah, that's a good message.
yeah. So, in order to be capable of doing good, we have to be aware of our capacity for bad. Because free will can't exist without the potential of doing good and evil. I suppose I bring this up because this is a Christian theme channel, and people often bring up the question: "Oh, why did God place the tree of good and evil in the Garden of Eden?" You got countless Reddit tier atheists just making animation saying, "Oh, he should have put the tree right there. Oh, he should have done this and that. Oh, he should have done." The thing is, real love allows people the will to have their freedom to make their own choices. Because otherwise, if we don't make decisions, then we don't truly have that capacity to have real love, to be truly selfless. Because in order to have true love, we need to be able to choose that kind of authentic love. Because the ability to true love is what makes love actually work. So, by that standpoint, in Kingdom Come Deliverance and its sequel, the best possible path is the one where you put others first, in the within the game, and make the world a better place. And I presume that's how the game goes. And obviously, given that it's a realistic setting, like even if you're not getting constant showers of glory, at least the game rewards you with a life that ends rather peacefully. Are there multiple good endings or a good ending in Kingdom Come Deliverance you're aware of?
So I know that a lot of the story is kind of I think called canonized. There's one main pathway through the story.
All right.
But I mean, there's different ways you can solve quests. I feel like I guess there is. I don't know if there's not necessarily a ton of different endings, but yeah, the game doesn't really. I think the game has mostly one main story, but
All right.
there's different. I feel like it's kind of like some games you play the game. They don't give you some major cutscene at the end, but you play the game a certain way. So maybe that sticks with you a lot too. But
all right. Okay.
yeah, there are different ways to finish a lot of quests, though.
Right. Yeah.
I guess I would make the argument kind of like what you were saying though. The selfless pathway, because there are ways to solve quests the more honorable, righteous way. But there's a lot of sacrifice and you have to do a lot of things to get the good end, the good good quest story. You have to pay money, or you have to go out of your way and do all the stuff. But then you're doing the virtuous choice. Or you can go through the quest really, really fast, but be dishonorable intensely.
I think that is essentially the core design philosophy of these choices. I'm sure there's these speedrunners who have various maneuvers to have these unexpected ways of getting through certain heroic paths, which involve, oh, I don't know, jumping backwards above several trees to get to this one spot or something like. There is a speedrunner out there who must have done that kind of thing. There must be, right?
I haven't looked it up, but I mean, maybe it's possible.
Right. Right.
It's the kind of game that you play to really rush through. But depending, it's kind of one you call a slow, like a slow cooked game. What do you call it? What's the phrase called? It's
slow burn.
Slow burn, yeah.
setting up a nice roast.
Pretty rewarding experience, but it takes a long time.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, people out there don't have the patience for slow burns. But if they give themselves the patience for slow burns, they can be in for some pretty profound meditative experiences. Because there's a lot of moments in life that can be quite slow. They can be opportunity to just stop and pause and to think.
Fair. Oh, hey, I don't know, Jeffrey, are you still on there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just listening to y'all talk. Yeah,
You
yeah,
have any
y'all are.
you have any opinions or thoughts on any of this?
Ah, not really, not really. It's interesting listening to y'all talk. You know.
True enough.
Uh,
I mean, I'm probably gonna need to leave soon, but not yet. I'll let you guys know when I need to head off. But yeah, it's a definitely interesting conversation nonetheless in regards to the design of RPG games, especially ones that offer you choice and what you do with those choices and how that reflects on quite possibly reflects on you as a person or whatever kind of story you're trying to learn about. I suppose, yes.
so what is y'all's open opinion about everything going on right now as far as um you know just as far as like the climate.
Well, the climate could go up and it could go down. Apparently, the climate's going down for the Winter Olympics. um, yeah, everyone seems quite excited about the Winter Olympics right now, but for some reason, I didn't see many advertisements or whatnot saying that the Winter Olympics were going to be happening until recently. But that should be interesting to catch up with in regards to the sports, the curling, the skiing, the snowboards. We'll see who manages to win and whatnot. And the Winter Olympics will be something to be on people's minds for like the next few weeks or so. So that should make February quite interesting. That as well as Valentine's Day. So there you go.
Yeah.
Right. That'll make it. Yeah, yeah. You're right about that. Yeah, I just wanted to see. It's going to be. I think the Winter Olympics is going to be really good. You know.
I mean, the opening ceremonies, from what I understand, they got Andrea Bocelli to be singing at the opening ceremony. Oh man, Andrea Bocelli is such a treat to listen to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Yes, I'm talking with people of class here, YouTube. You people of
I was gonna say
class.
I'm not sure who that is on top of my head, but I was like, I'm probably
Um,
heard one of his songs or
yeah,
something.
he's a blind tenor opera singer. Um, he's got quite a catalog of operatic covers over the years. Um, he's quite known for singing the song Conte Partiro, Time to Say Goodbye. Time to say goodbye. That one. You may have heard it. May have heard a parody of it in Sesame Street. You may have heard it in the backdrop of that one scene in Madagascar 3. Like, got that film up of all things. He's done some other covers. He's sung with other operatic singers. He's performed with his son Matteo on various occasions, like with the end song for Disney's Nutcracker movie they did a few years ago. Oh yeah, he also sung "God Bless Us Everyone" in the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol movie. Um, so oh yeah,
He's
he's also done the prayer song with Celine Dion. Yes.
Hmm.
a talented guy.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely talented. In fact, you know what? I'm going to tell you guys a really cool story that will really make up for your time. So, there was one time when Andrea Bocelli was coming here to Inverness to sing. I was really looking forward to that. So, I wasn't able. The tickets were expensive, and I wasn't able to get in, but managed to get off work efficient enough time to travel down to the stadium where he's performing and managing to hear him from a distance. I'll never forget it. Just um, he's just going there and hearing him from a distance, then slowly going towards the stadium, and then we heard that the first act was over. We were just sitting nearby, and then I was with my mum at the time, and these just all of a sudden, okay, you guys are gonna be amazed at this. These two ladies came up to me and mum, and they said they were just leaving, and they said, "Oh, you joined the show." I can't exactly remember how the conversation went, but they went up to us like, "You joined the show." And they said, "Yeah, but we're just sitting out because we couldn't be able to afford the tickets." And then the two ladies said, "Okay, well, I think we've heard enough. Here, do you want to have our tickets?" What? What? Like, I kid you not. They just gave us their tickets there and then. And just like that, we walked right in there and having to maneuver our way in there. And we got a good enough viewpoint. And I actually saw him on stage. It was unforgettable.
It's like the hand of God.
Oh yeah. Managed to hear him sing several songs. Just the orchestra, the sheer scope of it. It was it was absolutely amazing.
Cool.
Absolutely cool.
Okay,
absolutely cool.
So say his name one more time. It says Andrew Bocilla? No.
Andrea Bocelli. I'll type it up to you.
Oh, here I found it.
Yeah. I'll just type it here in case you misspelled it or something.
It says he's maybe I don't know if I got it wrong or not. Maybe it might be a couple handful of people out there. Oh, who knows? Who knows? I'll try this one.
You might have typed up Andrew Broccoli for all I know.
I think I found some Australian actor. Okay, the different person. Okay, here's the right one. Okay. I found the right one. I probably heard of this guy. It's hard to keep track. There's so many celebrities. You can never keep track of
Yeah, obviously the human mind can only conceive of what's the most relevant for them right now and then just filter out the rest. That's just the way we function, sorry. Well, most of us at least.
Cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
You know,
his famous song is called Conte Partiro.
Conte Partiro.
I just broke federal law when y'all were talking with each other back and forth, you know?
What do you mean you broke federal law?
The person that used to live in this apartment still has her mail delivered here, even though it's been 2.5 years. And I brought her mail in by accident, and I'm sitting here opening up different letters while y'all were talking, and I open up her letter, and I'm going like, it's from the bankruptcy court, you know?
Oh.
And it's got all this important stuff from the car company that she bought the car from.
Oh man, that's rather awkward, Jeff.
Yeah. And the car place car company she bought the car from says, yeah, we repoed your car because you broke your agreement, you're not supposed to have a bankruptcy on your record, and
Oh man.
you owe us this money, and we're gonna sell your car at a private auction, and what's ever left, we'll carry that into whatever you owe us on the deal, but you'll still owe us money if we don't get enough money for the car, you know.
Man
And I'm
alive, you're saying all this in a recording. Man alive, what a confession.
like,
Oh.
Oh yeah,
It's no big deal.
it's quite odd. I tell you what, these people that when they move, they don't get their mail forwarded. I don't understand why.
Man alive. Well, whatever the issue is, I'm sure you'll have the common sense to reconcile with it. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I've been here since Halloween weekend of 2023 in this one apartment. You know,
Oh,
when
oh
I
wow.
transferred in here from my other apartment, I've been in this apartment complex since 2013.
Oh wow. There you have
Yeah.
it.
Hey, so what are we talking about, guys?
Just a variety of topics. We were talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance. We were bringing up the Winter Olympics. Then Andrea Bocelli, and then Jeff here brought up something that was happening in his personal life. And I suppose Phil wanted to talk about this RPG game he was talking about. It's a random
Oh,
variety
hey,
of topics.
hold on. That's
honestly.
great. That's great because Ace is in the game. He can tell you about the game because he's playing it.
All right. Okay.
I think Phil would be able
Or he
to
won't. Or he
do
won't
it
say
more.
anything.
I think Phil would do it a little bit more justice than
Well,
I
hold up.
could.
Okay, but like word of mouth from an actual player is valuable too, though. Well, Ace, tell. Okay, so
Yeah.
what has been your experience in this game so far? Well, just say what you think or feel about it.
I mean, like with me being like first time me doing like RPG and all, like, I think it's a pretty good experience. I mean, just go out, just try to do quests and just try to build your character best you can to, and it's just about like traveling and seeing different worlds and people, just like in real life.
What's not to love?
Yep.
Ace, tell them about your character you built.
All right.
So it's like a road elf. Like he's a long distance, with like a bow, bow and arrow.
All right.
I kind of like the long range weapons. So
Right.
long range medieval weapons.
All right.
Uh,
Sounds very interesting.
uh, like my goal is to try to collect some shards and ho- hopefully that'll bring you. I have a more character or something. I have yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we really decided like what the shards are really gonna do.
So you're making it up all up on the fly. All right.
Say more or less.
Well, I suppose the majority of these tabletop RPG games are pretty much just made up on the fly. But then again, you also have the dungeon
Yeah.
master to set up the rules.
Yeah. Well, I feel like okay, so like he has like I feel like his character's personal journey is he's pursuing some something that he's looking for, but he doesn't know what exactly. He is not 100% certain what's gonna happen if he collects them all, but he has like some purpose of trying to do something, right?
So he's Jason Bourne?
Yeah,
Well, well,
Wait, I'm chasing
that's a
what?
good movie.
I've seen that in a long
He's
time.
Jason Bourne.
I
I
don't
mean, like
think
I
I
feel like
catch.
because like he's
Oh, okay. Someone didn't get the joke.
but like most jokes are funnier when someone doesn't get it. No,
I guess.
I
okay,
want an
sorry.
eggnog milkshake right now.
Eggnog milkshake. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. We might to stop you.
So like his character, he has like this belief that like seeking these rings out or these little shards out, and he puts them all together. He's gonna find some kind of treasure at the end of it, or there's something really good for him. That's what he believes. So collecting them is like some great personal advancement.
Yeah, pretty
Fantastic,
much.
fantastic.
Pretty much.
Cool little
Okay.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll go somewhere.
But yeah, I got another player. Her name is Grace. She's not gonna be here tonight though. But yeah,
Is that a
she's
lady
playing
or
like
a man?
a lady.
Oh wow, we got an actual lady with us, everybody.
Well, yeah. But
I
yeah,
thought
she's
this
playing
server was all men.
I got a few women. I got a few women on here.
Hey, nice. Fire yourself on the back, gentlemen. Yay.
One of the other woman oh, okay, let's not speak bad because it's recorded. Okay, I got someone else on here. It's all good, right? Okay. But um, okay. But yeah, I mean, I again, like, I feel like my channel is. I mean, like, men and women are both welcome.
Yeah,
There's no reason.
absolutely. We want more women on here. I'm just saying it's quite pleasant to even have women in this usually predominantly male space. I didn't mean anything mean-spirited by it.
I feel like I don't know. Maybe the way I built my world is like women are actually like some women are interested in it. I don't know. Maybe just the way I
All right.
handle it, but
Well,
I mean, it's not a bad
that's
thing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you can continue growing it from there. I'm sure that they can help you along.
Yeah.
What
And like
is a
the way
woman's job in the world?
What is a woman's job in the world? That's a good question. Do explain.
I'm just asking the question.
Yeah. Pretty constructive question. We want to understand how the world works, and well, this RPG world.
I mean, I don't know, I don't know about my world, but in general, I mean, like you're asking like what a woman's role and purpose in life is.
Yeah.
In the RPG world, like, are they bakers? Are they
Okay, so you want to know about in my
specific
RPG
branches?
or in real life? Do you want
We're
real
talking
life or
about
Well,
the
I
game?
guess both.
RPG. Oh, both. We're seriously talking about. Okay, I guess we're talking about both.
That's fine.
Right.
I mean, so yeah, I do want to have at least some distinguishes between a man and a woman in my world. I mean, other than like the obvious things, but like I do.
Yeah.
I feel like there is different roles. So maybe I took a little bit of inspiration. I think you've ever heard this guy called Storytelling Ron?
Oh yeah, he was on the server, right?
Yeah, I
He
think
was
he's
he was
on.
he was in one chat, but yeah, like
Yes,
and like
yes.
himself. I think there's maybe some other people out there like because like he has like different roles, like a different gender roles. Like a man might be like wearing like heavy plate armor and like wear a carry a big sword. And they stand in the front lines and like fight in like heavy battle. But like he probably wouldn't have like a woman do that. Like a woman might be kind of more in the back. She might do some kind of support. She might fire a crossbow or something. But like there's like it's slightly different ways that like a man and woman would handle a situation.
Right.
And it's not that like women couldn't do the same thing men could do. It's just there's just some biological advantages, disadvantages. Like men just tend to have like this heavy husky, like big, large bodies, and like women don't really have like these like large, heavy figures, right? So like there is like some slight differences. And like also women tend to be like better at talking, and sometimes they're smarter and like they're better at social situations than men are. But there's pros and cons, right? So
And they don't blow up at each other, right?
Boom.
oh yeah, I mean, it's like it's interesting. Yeah, like women do, from what I can tell, like to support a lot more. So they want to like a lot like women, they like to help out, and they like to do like more they want to see like the different teams succeed, or different individual stuff. It's kind of like different perspective on how they would solve a problem.
Yeah.
It's cool that there's like a distinct. It's cool, right? It's interesting.
Yeah. All very helpful roles that both genders play. Yeah.
Like I mean, like I feel like in my game, like really, like men and women can do most things basically. Like there's very few like major locks or anything, but like there's like slight differences. So it's I don't bring it up and talk about it a ton necessarily either, but I mean,
I guess you're
there
talking
is
about
like
it now.
yeah, talking about it now, right? So I don't to me it's not like there's like huge things. Like I've been messing around with different mechanics. Like sometimes there's like a starting you build a player character, like there you might have some certain starting like mechanic numbers, like you might get like a plus like 1 or plus 2, or like a -1 or -2. So it could be where you come from, like you're from like a snowy region, you might be better at certain things from there. If you're from like this desert
Right.
region I have, you're also going to be better at something there. But I feel like because when you get these positive effects, you also sometimes get negative ones too to counterbalance them. So I'm also messing around with the idea that men and women might have a slightly different starting like +1 or in one area, or like a -1 in another area.
That makes
It
sense.
makes it a little more diverse and interesting. So
Yeah, that does make sense.
nothing like majorly game breaking, but like just something like interesting.
Yeah, I'd imagine things that just naturally cater to the men's and the women's strengths in a good way. I would imagine because man alive, boy oh boy, do men and women have these different strengths that make or break when it comes to life. I know I've experienced that firsthand.
So I mean, again, again, here we're talking about it anyway. I might as well just talk about it. But like, I might like,
Oh
for
yeah,
example, I might
let's
have
talk about
like,
it. Yeah.
yeah, let's talk about it here, right? People aren't gonna be too mad here. People are here at chill. So,
Yeah.
but like I was messing around with the idea. I think I was gonna give men like maybe like a male player character. You have like +1 strength versus like a female character. I might give them -1 strength. So like a little bit of some like strength versus like it's like physical, big, bulky, like
Yeah.
thing that like, it's
Bulky
like
muscular strength, right?
yeah. And then like again like trying to find like different counterbalances, like and like men might receive like a minus to a. I'm gonna go with dexterity, honestly. I'm trying to keep. There's
Yeah.
also like there's like physical skills, and there's like non-physical skills. So I'm trying to figure
Yeah.
out like what the. But
Yeah,
like I was
typically
gonna
in
go with
RPG
like
games. Yeah,
yeah,
typically in
I feel because I
RPG
also like
games.
yeah, like women are way more flexible and way more like tend to be a little
Oh,
more
absolutely.
skinnier. They also tend to be a little more they can move around and maneuver easier. So I didn't really I haven't
Absolutely.
really fully implemented this stuff, but I was gonna go with maybe like women receive like a +1 to their dexterity, and like men maybe have a
Yeah.
-1 dexterity. That would like
Yeah.
show that like men are physically imposing, but like women are more like more
Flexible.
like acrobatic,
Yeah.
or like they can do like some more.
Absolutely.
So I mean that's like a cool idea, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
Makes
know if that's
sense.
like the best mechanics, but like it's just some ideas.
I mean, you start
Um,
working out from there, and it really depends on what you mean by strength, because in truth, men and women both have different strengths, but obviously, in the context of an RPG game, you usually affiliate strength with the muscular strength.
yeah, like
Um,
a physical strength
yeah,
demeanor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like there's strengths, right? But yeah, like actual strength.
And also, in regards to our role playing games specifically, you're not just going to encounter different enemies to fight, but also different situations. So that's going to call for more relational approaches that women specifically can thrive at, I would imagine. Because women tend to be way better at regulating their emotions than men do. Men tend to be more driven to accomplish a task, whereas women are, compared to men, are more present in the everyday circumstances.
I think it's like what's the word called, like agreeable. I think maybe also.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson uses that like women are very agreeable and like men are very disagreeable people.
Female lobsters are very agreeable. Hi-ho, Kermit the Lobster here, here to give you another lecture on masculinity and femininity. So you see, female lobsters, I've observed female lobsters. They manage to set up these five-star hotels rather well. They also give nice massages at the hospitals. Yeah, really profound stuff. They do a great job at tidying rooms, tidying hotel rooms. And the male lobsters, they gawk. They really gawk, and they're really impressed by everything that they've come across. So they want to marry those kind of lobsters. Yeah, if you really want to clean your room, clean up rooms like a female lobster.
Oh man.
I think you like killed that Kermit one. That Kermit voiceover.
Yeah, I could do more with the Kermit the Peterson voice impression.
Hey,
Another
yeah.
one that I was gonna.
Yes.
Hey, Jeff, real quick. Oh, what you think about like RPG and all? Well, what's your thoughts about that?
I haven't really done a whole lot of stuff about it.
Oh, okay.
I suppose it depends on what kind of RPGs you're talking about, because there's RPG games, but obviously the topic right now is tabletop RPGs.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Just give me a sec.
Okay.
Dun 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 dun.
Uh,
I suppose this is a good opportunity as any for Jeff to elaborate on any thoughts he has on RPGs, however little they may be.
I have no clue.
okay.
The end. Wow, what a great way to pass the time. um there's your answer, Ace. Okay. Maybe I should give an answer. Right. I suppose RPG, the tabletop RPGs make for an interesting opportunity to improvise, and improvisation can be a great ability to have in life. Honestly, I mean, that's why I would encourage people to engage in drama groups, because more often than not in drama classes they would encourage you to partake in various exercises and games that to some degree or another revolve around improvisation. That encourages you to really pay attention, be present, think on the spot, and coordinate with fellow people and think of something on the fly. And it can be really fun in that regard.
It's hard to think on the fly, though.
Yeah.
Think on the fly. Yeah, I like thinking on the fly. I could just stretch out my tongue and eat the fly whenever I want. Honestly, I'm surprised nobody's caught my elastic tongue on stage every so often because I'm so busy singing on my banjo.
Anyway, I suppose with these tabletop RPG games, given the fact that there's dice, there's also that element of I suppose playing with the cards you got, much like life itself, I suppose. As hilarious or as devastating as that may be, I guess. Um, so it can be a pretty interesting exercise in regards to adapting to certain situations and how well you can cope with that, and seeing what uh, plays out, and just be willing to experiment around. Um, I can see why people get immersed in that kind of play. In fact, there's an entire successful YouTube channel called Critical Role, which is just entirely based on just several adults just playing tabletop role playing games, just from stuff they've made up. They were able to like build basically an entertainment empire from it. So it's definitely got, qualities that are worth paying attention to in regards to its overall contribution to pop culture, as it were. Um, so I guess that's my answer to the what's so investing about tabletop RPGs. I suppose I could ask that same question to you, Ace, just whilst Phil is doing what he's doing. What is it about pardon me? What is it about tabletop RPGs that you find so investing?
Like the interactions that we partake in, and it's like, I don't know, it just helps me feel and Grace. I feel like it helps connect more. I mean, I think that's the biggest takeaway from my
Yeah,
RPG experience. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's all about connecting and building friendships, really.
yeah. There's something about shared adventures, shared activity that can really strengthen bonds. Yeah, absolutely.
Someday we'll find it, the friendship connection. Oh,
Hey,
lobsters.
how old are you again?
What was that?
I was wondering, how old are you again?
How old am I?
Yeah,
I'm 27, at least as of this recording.
27.
27 years old. You are super, super young.
How old are the rest of you? From the way you said that, I think you're much older than me.
Oh, I'm a lot
Mhm.
older than you. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
over a
oh,
decade older than you.
oh, wow. Oh, okay, okay. Right. How old is everybody here?
I'm 38 years old, born in 1987.
1987. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Kid from the 80s, and you grew up in the 90s. Oh, wow. That's kind of an interesting experience. I was born in the 90s, yet had a predominantly 2000s experience, as it were. It's the part that happens when you're born at the end of one decade, then you transition to the other, right?
All right, all
Yeah.
right. Let me ask you a question. What do you think? I want to ask you a government question about your country. What what
Okay.
what is what is what do you believe about Scotland's independence?
Oh, now there's a good question. Hold on a minute. I'm just concentrating on something else to talk to me about. Yes. So independence. I suppose it's a bit of a nuanced question because all throughout history, Scotland has seen a lot of hostility in various ways. It started as far back as when the Romans tried to take over the UK. Um, and they tried
Did I
to
lose
take over
y'all?
Scots. they tried to take over Scotland, but the Celts there were so tough, and the terrain was so unforgiving for them that they had to form a wall to hold them off. Scotland's always been fending off against invaders to some degree or another. Of course, you got the whole is in regards to like several wars with the likes of Robert the Bruce and William Wallace, in which England was up to some naughty stuff, so Scotland had to rise up and stuff like that. Also,
Yeah, I'm back.
welcome back, Phil. I'll finish up what I'm talking about. So basically, I suppose in regards to independence as it pertains to today, I suppose it really depends on if we need to fight off against anybody hostile or not. I guess. I mean, at least that's my input on that, I suppose. But even then, the independence is still widely debated around Scotland, and obviously the slogan of "Yes" can still be seen in the corners of Scotland. Yes, as in yes for independence. But I think that's all I've got to say on the topic, to be honest.
Yes, it's a fascinating. It's a fascinating situation, that's for sure. You know, I used to go to a couple of Scottish's folks' lives, and that's all that they were talking about is the independence of Scotland. You know.
Yeah, the ongoing conversation. I suppose it's something you could look into yourselves if you're really that interested in it. Yeah. Right, we were basically talking back and forth about thoughts on different RPGs. And there were various interesting results, to say the least. So, interesting world building you've got going on there. And obviously, I'm looking forward to hearing how it continues to develop and to grow and all the good stuff like that. So, I suppose, do you have some kind of end goal for your RPG game? Is there some kind of apocalyptic thing, or just some small quest to achieve, or one quest that's going to be leading to another quest, or is the world going to be continue to develop from there, or
Oh
whatnot?
yeah, I was thinking about that. I was talking with my player Grace. That was the last Sunday. Also, some of this stuff kind of came up. She was asking me, yeah, like she's very good at like talking, right? You know, like she's asking me some questions. I'm like, why are you asking this question? But there's actually a real reason, behind it that you find out. But yeah. So I had this plan for the world. Now, I don't think my campaign has to go on indefinitely. I mean, like, I know you can always make more content, but I think I have like a core main story. I don't want to like completely spoil the plot too much. But
I
there's
like
like
content.
especially since Ace is kind of in the campaign. But I'll just tell you some basic stuff. That's pretty well known anyways. So like I have like this major like arch type like level like basically like a kind of like the devil. He's like a big major demon. So he's like one of the big bads of the world. So he's like he's one of the major plot like I guess devices, or what do you call it, like a something like you have to deal with this situation one way or the other. There's also this major city in my world. It has some kind of an outcome for it. Yeah, and I also have these three villains. So basically, you defeat the three villains. Eventually, it leads to there's like a big bad villain, and there's the fate of the city, and there's also like the lore of the world. Like the players kind of have to discover like the lore and figure out why everything is the way it is. Also, kind of figure out why they exist within the world. Try to learn some of the ins and outs. So I feel like once all these major, also there's like player like the characters specific like they have their own little goal, their own little mission. So once these major secrets or these major things kind of all get uncovered, and they kind of like resolved all the stuff, one way or the other, I feel like at some point, yeah, once they've gone to each of the major cities and they've completed the big quest lines, and they've like completed like they become leveled up enough, eventually like the campaign will come to an end. So, but it might go for like probably my goal is to go for like 1 year, like a 1 year worth of time. Because there's the main story, there's also side quests and stuff you can do. So that's kind of like my goal.
All right, so you got ambitions, and they're gonna unfold. Do you mean to unfold them? Just in your spare time? Are you going to unfold them as the game develops, or somewhere in between?
I mean, like I feel like I've come up with like these different like points, and like I kind of envision like multiple routes that technically they can go down, but yeah, they're gonna probably unfold them to the players' choices and like the story like happening. I don't want to make them too set in stone. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, like I kind of have an idea, but I don't really don't have to go exactly as I like fully intend. But I mean, at least I have some plans or some ideas. I guess maybe like there's different ways people tell stories. I like the idea of having certain things like happen, and like they have to happen in a certain way no matter what anyone does. It's like a little bit like railroading maybe, but like there's like a certain outcome that's just like it's just gonna happen. Like because I feel like a level of like maybe like destiny. I think that's what it's called. Feels like there's a certain thing that's gonna happen, just kind of like inevitable, right? But
Right.
I think it makes things interesting. Like no
Yeah.
matter how hard you might try really hard to save somebody, or you may want something to happen, but like it's just like this one thing is just like destined to happen. So no matter what route you go down, like you can't really change this destiny. If there's one like very specific thing, right? Now you can try to do a bunch of other stuff. It's like interesting. Like I mess around with a lot of these different stories and storytelling, but
Right. That seems like an interesting idea, the whole destiny idea. I suppose with that, by that regard, you could do something akin to say, like, have your characters be free to have some kind of emotional attachment to something, whether it be some activity they did, friend that they fought, a place they visited, then destiny happens, and then the thing unfolds, and then it after it unfolds, whether it be some kind of tragedy or something transformative, then the emotional attachment through some way or another becomes more meaningful in the long run. That could be a nice sweet spot when it comes to storytelling, because obviously there can be much hilarity when it's completely improvised and it's a complete mess. But obviously, if you want to tell something more profound, you gotta have at least some basis of structure. But on the other hand, given that this is a game that thrives on improvisation, you don't want to be far too restrictive. I mean, I'm no
well, okay, so
gun.
like I do want my world to be like somewhat serious, like in some
Right.
levels. Like it's like I mean, like
Yeah.
I know it could just be all just fun and all everyone just like laughs all the time, but like I mean, I want there to be like a some seriousness to it. I
Yeah.
think I use the word like intensity. Like there's some levels of intensity that
Yeah.
happens and goes on. And I
Right.
mean, like like I mean, like I don't know. It's always hard to figure out how to like balance all this stuff, but I
Mm,
mean, I mean, like there is like a kind of a canon like core plot. Like there are some major characters that exist in the world. Before even the players existed. There's some stuff going on, but it's always hard to balance all of this stuff together.
I suppose you're learning how.
Like this is also like my first like real like full campaign that I kind of ran to. So it's like try like I give myself a little bit of grace and leeway, right? It's like
Yeah.
not having like a ton of massive experience. I mean, I have some, right, but not like there's people who've been doing this for like years and years and years, and they have like 10 campaigns, right? But like it's like my first like real main one.
Right. Right.
Hey, Phil, how old are you?
I'm 34.
Okay,
34.
so you're not. Yeah. Okay, so Okay, so you're not too far from me.
Yeah, we're about like the same age.
Right. So I take it Ace is let me guess 36, 34,
37.
33. Okay.
No,
Okay.
37.
Oh, 37. Sorry, misheard that. Okay, so I've got a 37-year-old, another 37-year-old, and a 34-year-old. Right. Yeah, I am
How
the
old are you?
youngest.
How old are, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
How old am I? I'm 27 years old.
27. Okay.
You're a
I kind of
sick
thought you were a
young.
little.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a
Thought you
young
were a little
guy.
bit younger, but
yeah.
you're kind of emotionally mature though. But even though you're like a little bit younger, but you're not too far behind either. Like
I have seen stuff, gentlemen. I have experienced stuff, gentlemen.
Where is?
I'll just get older, I guess. I guess eventually we die, right? You get so old that you die. But
Yeah, then man, that's gonna be quite some story to recount when we pass on. It's like, man, we were so mopey back then, weren't we?
yeah, well, yeah, we are a real depressed nation. People for for having so much. But yeah,
It's so much. And I thought you were gonna conclude that statement with like so much something, but you just left
oh
it
no,
vague
we
as
had so much nice, stuff and everything available. But yeah, we're still
uh,
so unhappy.
yeah, we really need to
I guess
count our blessings because many a time that the things that we need in life and the things that we're looking for are actually just right in front of us, right here, right now, and we have to be grateful for it. Like for example, like many of us are aspiring to create things like that. We would think, oh, if only we had this, if only we had that. And well, you actually have the means to create the stuff. You have access to documentation. You have pencils, you have rubbers, you have all these things that people in other countries would like cut their right pinky or something for. You should be grateful that you have these tools. Now it's up to you as to whether or not you want to use those tools constructively or just continue moping about it.
For some reason, people just like to mope.
Yep. Moping gets attention. I mean, we've all done it. We've all moped at some point. It's easy. It's just
Yeah, but
neediness.
I don't think
whenever
I've moped before. I'm
whenever
joking
you're
on
in
that
the
one.
state, so it's like you gotta get your shit together.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
I wasn't expecting you to say that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you just need to be grateful for what you got and just keep
Yeah,
moving.
and
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
I have everything in the world that I want, I desire, but I mean,
I
everything I
want
do
to
have,
touch you
it's a
very
blessing from the
much and
good Lord.
Yeah.
it's a little bit
Insert.
more though.
Yeah. Insert the I Want song from any Disney movie ever here.
Well, back when Disney used to be good, that you mean?
Yeah, back when Disney was actually good before Bob Iger ruined it. Yeah. Let's hopefully the new CEOs will actually make it better. If not, but then by a margin. Hopefully.
Hey, I got an interesting question for y'all.
Yeah.
What is y'all's favorite, or what's y'all's go-to Bible app that y'all use the most?
Bible app.
Yeah.
U version.
U version. All right. Tell us about the U version.
You just go in there. It's known as the Bible app. You know, it's got all your devotionals in it and
Right.
everything, and you can even make one for a group of people to go through. Me and this guy Elijah did it last spring. You know, we went through him and his church men's group was doing it, and I was not a part of his church, but his church allowed me to, be a part of it.
Sweet. Nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Sounds
it's pretty
awesome.
good.
Right. Fantastic.
What
I
about you,
personally,
Scott?
I don't I don't use any specific Bible apps. I suppose when I'm on my phone, I use my YouTube account to look up certain people who have, will help me interpret scripture properly. Like, for example, someone who's been really helpful for me in more recent years was Pastor Mark De Jesus. I was going through mental turmoil, and he really helped to turn things around in my personal life.
Hmm. You,
I don't know
you
if
need to,
yeah.
yeah, you need to see about send a link to his channel.
Oh, sure, yeah, I can give you a link. I'll do that right now. Feel free to ask somebody else if they. I suppose Phil's yet to
What,
answer the question, right?
what about
Um,
you?
there's another one called Dwell,
The
Dwell?
whale, whale.
right? That I believe that Matt Chandler created.
That's okay. Here's the link to Mark DeJesus' channel, by the way. Highly transformational stuff. Anyway, you were saying?
Yeah, that's another one that I've heard people use before. I think it's called Dwell, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one.
Do y'all know who
Well,
Matt Chandler is?
Matt Chandler.
I never heard
Matt
of him.
Chandler, that sounds familiar.
He is the pastor of the Village Church in Highland Village, Texas.
Hmm.
And it's a mega church. It's a mega Southern
Oh
Baptist church.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah, right.
it's a matter of fact. This church is about 10 minutes away from my house. I've been there before.
Oh wow. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
I've been in some pretty big churches here in Texas. I've been in Jack Graham's church before. Um, I the crazy guy, Dr. Kenneth Copeland church I've seen.
Kenneth Copeland. Oh man.
That's a church that I don't think that is on the right track doctrinally though.
No. I just
I
looked
don't
up
think
Matt.
it is.
I just looked up Matt Chandler. I made the claim that I knew about him, but actually, I don't think I actually heard of him until this live stream. Just to clarify
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Right.
he's a really good preacher. Yeah.
Right. The same cannot be said for Kenneth Copeland.
Yeah, I've seen his church. I've seen
Oh, you've
Jack
seen it.
Graham's. Huh?
You've actually seen it.
Yes, because it's in Fort Worth.
Holy cow. Tell us more.
His church is huge. It's like going to Disneyland.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Too many people there.
Oh my days. And they're all being manipulated by this freak of nature, to say the least.
Right, right, right.
Right. This guy like makes
Now,
all these grand claims, but none of them come to fruition. They're all just used to like constantly fund him up. One of his most embarrassing cases was when he was rambling on about being able to push back the pandemic with a blow, even though
ah,
like even though it clearly didn't happen. You can see like the entire live stream where he's just on his own, and then the other guys are just awkwardly repeating what he's rambling about.
right, right. You know what my favorite deal was though about him?
Yeah.
Him telling people that he proclaimed and God gave him a vision that in 2056 or 2053 is
Right.
when the Lord was going to take him home. and he was going to live for 120 years.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, and until then, his job was going to stay there and pastor that church that he's got. You know?
Crying out loud.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
he's
I
still
mean,
because
alive.
yeah, he's still
yeah,
alive. Um, I mean,
and so,
he's done some awful stuff, but my days is he funny.
or when him and Jesse the Plantes was on that on TBN and saying that they can't fly on commercial airlines because they got to get in this big old tube in the air with a bunch of setters and setters. There's the spirit of sinners drags them down, and they can't go out and preach after being hanging out with sinners.
But
And
oh my days.
he's got to have a private jet, you know. And so what he did, he got Tyler Perry. He got Tyler Perry to sell him his private jet. And his church is the one that bought it for him. That multi-million dollar mansion estate
Oh my
out
days.
there in the suburbs of Fort Worth, the church bought that for him. Those two private jets, the
Oh my
church bought it
days.
for him.
My
And that
days.
yacht that sits outside the port of Galveston, Texas,
Oh
the church bought for him.
my days. It's like he's like said in interviews, a jet plane looks so good, I just had to buy it. And this is other ludicrous. Like, he is just such a clown, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Joel.
COVID-19! COVID-19. I'll blow the wind of God.
What about Joe Osteen? Where
Oh, Joe Osteen. Oh yeah,
Oh,
the smiling guy.
I tell you what, he is the worst of the worst.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
to tell y'all the truth though, like I actually used to like Joel Osteen.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
understand.
that dude is a nut job.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the overly plastic smiley type, and he's trying to get everyone to get along with each other. He's afraid of any kind of assertion of the actual truth that would be like exclusive by definition, and it led him into some really embarrassing situations at times. Like for example, the most infamous example of his end, or most famous, however the definition goes, he was on um the what was the name of that guy? The Larry show, the Larry King. Yeah, that's the
Larry
one. Yeah,
King,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was on the Larry King show, and Larry King was pressing in on him, asking these questions, like really big, significant, theologically themed questions that any pastor ought to be answering, like right there on the fly, boldly. Say just stuff like it should come with the profession. Like, okay, well, if you're so fixated on salvation and everybody getting along, then what about people of all these other religions? And then Joel Osteen in his plastic smiling kind of way, he goes, "Oh, I don't know, I don't know." He keeps answering these questions with that plastic smile, like I don't know, I don't know. I remember watching this sermon from someone, I don't know the name, but he brilliantly nails the problem. He mentions the Larry King interview and constantly mentioning how um Joel Osteen kept saying, "I don't know, I don't know." What do you mean? I don't know. And then by the end of it, he just slams his hand down on his podium, and then he just boldly declares, "Give us a man who knows." Yes,
Another
yes.
thing, another thing that Joel Osteen will say, he'll say, "I don't know if that's God's best," you know, and what that means is that he's not willing to say it flat out that it's not it is a sin, So he gives himself an out by just saying, "Oh, I don't know if that's God's best," because he doesn't
You
want to offend
are
anybody.
a pastor. You should give us an answer for crying out
Right,
loud.
right.
Yeah.
You know those things are a joke. And when
Yeah.
Hurricane Harvey happened in 2017, instead of letting all those victims from the hurricane stay at the church for a couple of days, he told them to lock the doors and didn't allow anybody to go into the church.
Even though the church has been a charitable sanctuary for generations and
Right.
generations of people alike.
And his dad has got to be rolling over in his grave, John Osteen, who
Oh
was the
man.
pastor of that church before he was. And
Oh
John was a fire and brimstone, hollering and screaming, energetic, let's get after it type preacher, you know?
right.
Yeah.
I suppose if you were to be really, really generous, and I don't know any better on this topic to be honest, it may be that Joel Osteen got kind of traumatized by some potential legalism, but I could be interpreting too much into it. So he's psychologically lashing out in the opposite extreme. Possibly. I mean that's a common pattern with these generations. I noticed like
Right,
yeah, one generation will be more harsh in this area, than the next generation is going to be soft, and then hard, soft, hard, soft, hard, soft. The toxic cycle keeps going on and on. But I mean, I don't know his dad. I haven't
right,
listened to him personally, so you tell me.
right. Because like I'm a part, like the denomination I came in underneath was the Black Baptist Caucus / Independent Fundamentalism. Okay,
Right.
Wait, what?
both very conservative. Okay,
Okay.
and they used and all of those preachers back when I was growing up used
Right.
to preach against five big things:
Right.
women dressing immodestly,
Right.
okay,
Okay.
Hollywood. They used to preach profusely against Hollywood all the time.
Yeah.
They used to
Yep.
preach
Right.
against gay marriage and gay men kissing each other. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
They used to preach against men wearing flip flops.
Wait.
Okay.
Men wearing flip flops.
Right.
And what was the
Right.
fifth thing?
And the fifth thing they used to preach so hard against was biblical. Preach for was biblical masculinity. You know, getting back between defining what was a female and what was a man. Okay.
Right.
Now
And
Okay.
you
most of
hear
these, I
you
don't even
still
know the
The
difference.
fourth one.
now you
Okay.
still hear some of that sprinkled in the preaching now, but it's not as hard like it used to be. Like
I'll
preaching
say.
against humanism and preaching against secularism and preaching against
Right.
um, voting for a party that is against that is for
Right.
abortions and same-sex marriages and things like that.
Right.
They used to go all in on that, you know.
Right.
Hey, Jeff,
Right.
Jeff, right quick. It's been a while. Can you explain humanism right quick?
It's basically
Well, you
atheism.
practically atheism, right,
Hey,
and that
it might be like 20 minutes until I come back on the voice chat. I don't know if people want to keep talking or not though. I
No,
might
I'll
hang
keep
out here
Right.
though.
talking. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of
it,
heated up anyways.
Right. We can leave soon if need be. But yeah, basically humanism. People will use like all kind of decorative terms, but yeah, it's basically atheism. Just to make a long story short, secularism, humanism. It's pretty much one of the same.
right,
If basically. Um. So
and
obviously,
that's why Ace in that chat a few days ago when somebody was asking about can you speak things into in existence? Okay, I said the only way you can do that is through the power of prayer.
yeah.
Okay, you can't
Yeah.
just get up and say, I hey, I can't just wake up tomorrow and say, God, today I want you to give me a blue-eyed blonde for a wife tomorrow. and all of a sudden that person appears in my life tomorrow. Okay, thank
Yeah,
God. You know,
yeah.
I can't just
And
sit here and say, "Hey, universe, I want
exactly,
$1 million in my bank account in 5 years."
exactly. What
You just
people,
can't do that,
yeah,
okay?
yeah, you can't
Because that
because
is the sense of humanism,
yeah,
because you're doing it without the architect of prayer and
exactly,
humility, okay?
exactly,
So you
exactly.
take all of that out, okay,
Right.
and you put yourself
Yeah,
in that box.
your own image. Yeah,
Right, right,
your own self-established godhood. And
right,
what people get confused in regards to prayer, even away from the topic of the prosperity preachers, but the prosperity preachers just throw oil into the fire on this topic, is that people think God is a genie. Like, people will
right,
say,
right.
hey, God, I
Yeah.
want this to happen, I want this to happen, and you must make this happen. Or you'll have these, like, silly atheists say, well, if God doesn't appear in this specific, ultra-specific manner, then I guess he doesn't exist. That's not how God works. He's a free agent. He's a person like you and me. If you're going to approach him like a person. And with person, that requires relationships. And relationships don't guarantee all wishes be fulfilled. Relationships involve journey and process. Like, if you're not willing to make room for that, I'm sorry, you're just not a mature human being. Full stop.
Right. And like I had a life coach in 2024. He was all about that affirmation and positive thinking and speaking things into existence in your life and
Oh,
things like
for
that.
crying out
And
loud.
he was trying to get me to believe this stuff.
Oh, for
And he
crying
says,
out
"Oh
loud.
yeah, I'm a Christian and everything else like this." And and this and he's a celebrity. And he's a celebrity.
Wait,
Okay.
this guy's a celebrity?
Yeah,
You,
he's a celebrity in the Philippines. He was a former Mr. America and Mr. Cuba in the
holy cow.
pageants and things like that.
You have a life
Um,
coach who is a celebrity?
right. Has over 170,000 followers on Facebook, you know, and Instagram and things like that.
My days.
And just a couple of weeks ago, he came out to be a homosexual. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and so um and he was just like I was listening to him, and I'm going like, all of this is happening in your life because of humanism. Okay. Because
Right.
you
Speak things into
yourself,
existence. Right.
you cannot make anything happen without the the authority from God, and the only way you can get that is through prayer. Only way that's
Right.
happening.
Right.
Right.
Um,
All this positive affirmations and all this stuff. And he was telling me, well, you just have to be positive about your brain disease that I suffer from, because I've had a lot of surgeries in the last 6 or 7 years because I contracted brain disease in 2019. He
no,
said, you just need to speak it into existence that your brain condition will just go away, you know? And I
right.
go like, that ain't gonna happen. I mean, I said I can pray about it, and I believe that Jesus Christ can heal me. But
Absolutely.
actually, I have to be a realist. Okay,
Right.
you have to be a realist. Okay, and
Okay.
so when you talk about all this affirmations and positive thinking, name it, claim it, you know, oneness doctrines, um, Clifford Dollar, um, you know, Jesse Duplantis, uh, Dr. Kenneth Copeland style preaching. It doesn't work at all. It's not real
Yeah.
Christianity. And if
Yeah.
it's not real Christianity, it will lead you astray. And
Yeah.
humanism
Exactly.
is a bad route to go down when you take everything under consideration.
It's interesting you bring that up because there have been people like Fyodor Dostoevsky who've dedicated their brilliant fictional writings to warning us about the consistent ends of humanism. Like back in Dostoevsky's day, humanism in many ways was like taken to its logical extreme in regards to like this totalitarian regime via communism as led by Stalin in Russia. And Dostoevsky and people he saw at his time suffered immensely from it. And because he saw the consequences of humanism, he wrote in his story, The Brothers Karamazov, he wrote, if God does not exist, anything is permissible. Anything
Right.
is permissible. Yeah, because if there's no that's one of the most profound quotes you'll find in any book. Because and like even Nietzsche would agree wholeheartedly with that statement. Because I mean, if you remove the centerpiece of all of transcendent morality, what is there left? The mere fleeting opinions of human beings that's just going to come and go with each generation, things like that. Like in one country they'll love their neighbors, the other country they'll eat them. Like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to I don't know, eat babies, or do you prefer to spare them? If there's no transcendent law to tell us otherwise, then what's stopping us? And so that's ultimately why, despite people's insistence, like humanism is a terrible way to go. It's just not going to work. And also, what isn't going to work either is the whole name it, claim it kind of thing. That's just narcissism 101. The name it and claim it, like for reasons I just mentioned, it's like relationship with God. It's not a transactional genie shtick. It is a relationship. That's the way it's supposed to go. And of course, there's the other extreme of the people who take it to legalistic ends because they fail to realize the power of grace as Paul described in the book of Galatians. And this is something I've had to learn the hard way, honestly, because I guarantee you, guys, if you're trying to get salvation by just following the rules, by that alone, it will lead to mental degradation. I guarantee that.
Right.
So from what I understand, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, Joel Osteen's dad seemed to be leaning more to the legalistic end of things, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I could be wrong, but that's what it sounds like from what you've told me.
Right.
Right. You're telling me he comes from the branch where his number 4 vital rule of theology was men should not wear flip-flops.
Right.
Dude, are you kidding me? Look at biblical history, for crying out loud. What were men wearing most of the time? Sandals!
His dad
Sandals!
was.
They're wearing sandals! Flip-flops are basically a modernized form of sandals, you flipping morons! Like, what's wrong with sandals? Name one Bible verse. Name one that says anything evil. Like, name a Bible verse that says, "Thou shalt not wear sandals." Name a Bible verse that says, "Men shall not wear sandals. Men shall not wear modern sandals." You won't find that. So what are you doing? You're adding to the Gospels. And if you're adding to the Gospels, then you're essentially fulfilling Revelation when it says, he who takes away or adds to the Gospel is to be accursed. You can't add or take away anything from the Gospel. The Gospel is the Gospel. It's done. It's finished. Complete. We don't need any more books. It is what it is. We have to either adjust to it or fall for our own narcissism. And that can fall to either extreme. If you lean on one end, you're just going to remove rules to feel more comfortable. In the other extreme, you can add too many rules to try to uphold yourself in a self-righteous narcissism. And this kind of narcissism, it has consequences. Obviously, from what I understand, Joel Osteen's dad was too legalistic. That led to his son lashing out psychologically and being too soft. The toxic pattern continues, and unless we get ourselves grounded in actual scripture, the cycle is not going to stop.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I just, every time I think of speak things into existence, it's this. I just quiver every time I hear that whole expression. Because it can't be done.
Yeah, it can't be done. Like, if you're going to, if you genuinely want God to interfere with getting you something in life, then you need to be humble about it. Like, there's a reason why God says yes to some individuals and God says no to people like Joel Osteen and other people that you probably mentioned. They deliberately skip certain Bible details where God says no at times. In fact, the whole prosperity crowd and the people who say yes and proclaim it kind of shtick, they've completely skipped the book of Ecclesiastes and the book of Job, which basically describes that you're not guaranteed anything in life. Okay, you're not guaranteed anything. You are entitled to nothing. You are from dust, and to dust you shall return. You are guaranteed to suffer, and to suffer hard. Life is harsh. Life is full of like disease and hardship and pestilence and all this heartbreak and all this like terrible stuff. And yet there is reason to persevere, but it can't be from yourself. What is it for? It's all about relationship at its core. That's why I've had to learn the hard way. Life is about relationship. Love is the greatest adventure that life has to offer. And love involves like humility and the willing to give yourself to others, not indulge in yourself. So that's the core takeaway from those books. And like when Job suffered immensely, he's asking God, "Why did you inflict this on me?" And then God answers Job back questions that the kind of questions that are meant to make Job be in such awe of the Almighty God. And then Job is thankful to God for helping him. I think it was implied that Job was a bit too complacent with what riches he had for his time. And Satan was placing a bet on God. I bet that Job won't make it to heaven because he's too comfortable and in loving his comforts rather than loving you. So God put that to the test, and in the end, Job placed his priority on relationship with God rather than his own belongings because Job experienced how fleeting those possessions were. And so Job began to love God again, and that love helped him transcend his current hurts. Now, this sort of thing baffles Satan because Satan is trying to make us fixated on the here and now, the immediate gratification of social satisfaction and
Right.
material wealth and jet planes and stuff like that. Yeah, but that's never guaranteed. If anything, if we do get those things, we should humble ourselves and say we should be grateful to have these things and use them for hopefully productive ends, because they could be taken away with just like that. They could be taken away at any time. In fact, our lives can end just like that. Like even like healthiest people can like die if they like take the wrong drug or do too much of this or that. Like not even like Bruce Lee is like safe from that kind of thing. So who are you to say that you're gonna live up until 70 or 90? Who are you to say that you're gonna die tomorrow? You don't know if you're gonna die tomorrow, if you're gonna die until you're 70s. You could pass away at any time. You're not guaranteed anything. So
Right.
that kind of reality just really breaks everything down to what life's really all about. And what is life really all about? It's all about your relationship with God, and the way you pass on to heaven or to hell, it really depends on your relationship with God and what you prioritize. Because of course, like there's some sincere Christians out there who are really scared of certain verses like "I never knew you, depart from me." They can misinterpret that to mean, "Oh, we need to work harder. We need to." No. You did not read Galatians. This is not about you trying to earn it. This is about you accepting the love of God. The love of God is why you're even still alive in the first place. It's the reason why you're not smashed to smithereens right there on the spot. because there's lots of people saying, God, why don't you take away the evil from this world? Okay, well, if God's going to answer that question, let's start with you, huh? Let's start with
Right.
me. Yeah, exactly. So that's not the right approach. God could get rid of all of us in the blink of an eye, but he spares us. Why? Because this is biblical. God does not want us to perish. He will go out of his way, like delay whatever and whenever necessary, just to save us. He loves us. He wants us to live the best possible lives he can. And he's going to have certain obstacles in our way to grow our character. And that's what a lot of these people they just don't understand. So you need to place your priorities on a relationship with Jesus. And back when I was in like a mental hell, as it were, I couldn't conceive of this. But honestly, if you embrace this, it really changes everything. It really does. It makes life simple, and it helps you get through all the odds. Honestly, really profound stuff.
Did that help you at all, Ace?
Yeah.
Yeah, that made that. I don't know. I hope that wasn't like drinking out of a fire hydrant for both of us. But in a
Yeah, it's kind
nutshell,
of wrong, but
that's how that comes from, what it is, and what it does to a person.
Yeah. I suppose something else you have to keep in mind is that these days you'll hear people say like, "Oh, the people of like say Hollywood, like most people in Hollywood these days, they're out of touch." You'll hear claims like that. Why? Because they live the kind of lifestyles where they never actually experience life and all its hardships to the same way that we do. Um, so you have to think like we struggle with our wages and stuff like that. Well, guess what? They can grow our character if we let these trials do so.
Right. Mhm. Yeah, I enjoyed the conversation today. This was really good.
Yeah. I'm glad we can have this kind of constructive conversation on a variety of topics. Yeah.
I'm just
So,
about back here.
are you? Who is this?
Oh, that's
Hey,
good.
I'm back here in a sec.
Hey.
Hey, Jeff, right quick. I what is called you about this like
Say that again.
Sorry, what were you saying, guys?
yeah, remember you said that you would send some videos about like, trying to help me learn the Bible a little bit better. It seems kind of
Yeah, I need to
long.
send you some stuff. Yeah, some permanent videos.
Yeah. Them videos.
Them videos, yes. Them videos, though.
Hey, if you can, just send them on the text chat we got set up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you need hermeneutics is so fundamental.
Yeah, cause
When I
that
was in
like
seminary, I learned hermeneutics a little bit.
yeah, cause that and like want to get better at like apologetics too.
Yes. You gotta love apologetics, yes.
Well,
Done right, of course.
Hey, y'all know about the Book of Isaiah?
What about the Book of Isaiah?
Like, can y'all give me like a summary or like important details about Isaiah?
I'm sure there's
Like,
plenty of resources you can get for brief summaries of the Book of Isaiah, right?
yeah, I know, but I just want to see if y'all could tell me anything about like the Book of Isaiah.
Sure. I mean, I suppose the best way to go is just read from scripture itself. But if you want a summary, let's see if I can look them up for you. Book of Isaiah. It usually help. I usually use the Bible Hub. Sorry, words are not working for mouth. The Bible Hub website. I find that to be a very reliable website when it comes to biblical interpretation, because that gives you the original Hebrew and Greek context of all these specific verses that you're looking for, and it really helps get the authentic representation.
Well, please speak about Bible Hub. I actually
Hey
got that.
Jeffrey, what's going on in your background noise?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Y'all are hearing me eat then.
Hey, if you're not talking, could you like just put it on mute for like a little bit too? Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much live stream with friends 101, mate. I'm sorry.
I know I had to deal with it though. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
like one thing about Bible Hub, like I do try to use on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
There's just still a lot to learn about using Bible Hub.
Here we go. Isaiah summary, and here we go. Fantastic, fantastic. And now send it to you guys. Boop. There we go. Might as well read it out while I'm here, in case anybody wants to hear that, right? So, summary according to Bible Hub is Isaiah, a prophetic text, emphasizes God's sovereignty, justice, and salvation. It warns of judgment against sin while offering hope through the promise of a Messiah. Isaiah calls for repentance and faithfulness, foretelling the coming of Jesus Christ as a suffering servant and ultimate redeemer. Full stop.
Hey, so I don't know if any of you are interested in this. So, have you ever heard of service called No Regrets?
First I've heard of it.
So it's like this kind of like this men's Bible study thing, and I'm like, my church has been doing it. If any of you
All right.
are interested in trying to do it with me,
Yeah. I wouldn't,
Sounds interesting.
it's, they have like I think this one like current one's like I think it's like 7 weeks, but it yeah, it's just yeah, they go through like there's like a little study plan that talks about some stuff. Yeah, I think there's an app too. But if any of you are interested in wanting to try it, good.
Sounds fascinating.
I'm pretty sure it's a free program too, but yeah, it's
Oh,
called No
nice. Sweet.
Regrets. It's not. I mean, it's not
No
like you know
regret.
super like. There's usually like a couple of different like you could watch a video. I mean, that's obviously objective. They have some questions they ask you about life, and sometimes they put like a little Bible verse you can go like, or some little Bible thing you go through. But
Yeah.
yeah, if any of you are interested in trying this,
You could like put it in the summary of the video whenever it comes out.
yeah, I wouldn't mind trying it out with you.
I mean, people could do with more devotion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who doesn't need more devotion?
but yeah, it's an option. You know, obviously you don't have to, but something to think about. consider.
Good to have the options. Yeah.
You probably have to sign up, make a little account. I mean, but
Fair enough.
I don't know if you lost me. No, I think I'm still on.
No. We heard every word you said. Don't worry.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's
Unless you were.
no, it's just an option. It's an option if you guys, if anyone's interested in it. But
I'll keep that in mind.
it could be something something to work together towards.
Ooh, you know what? Something has just come into my head. That's another point of discussion. Something caught my attention online. There has been a YouTube channel called Eliolai Art. Hang on a minute. Give me one. Eliolai Art. Yes. Eliolai Art. Run by, let's see, Elena and Olivia Caballos, twin sisters who make art and randomness related to it. So in the past, they did these fan animations dedicated to Meet the Robinsons, but as of recently, they've been working on something far, far more ambitious. They're planning to make an animated adaptation of Genesis.
That should be interesting.
Oh, absolutely it is. And basically, they took major inspiration from one of my all-time favorite movies, The Prince of Egypt, and they're going all the way with being, in their terms, unapologetically weird in their approach. So they're really delving deep into the kind of historic aspects that would make Michael Heiser proud, and their inputting like humans walking alongside dinosaurs, all these weird looking angels and demons in conflict with one another, a very slow cinematic approach to how the story is being told. And yeah, I want to see this being made. It's something they're working on via Kickstarter throughout this year. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention it because that's something that's right up my alley, and I think I'm doing you guys a favor by mentioning it. Yeah.
You like your weird stuff?
Well, I mean, mainly my interest, which I promote on my channel, Scott Stinker, or at least one of the main interests I'm interested in, is raising awareness of animation as an art form. So I frequently talk about shows like Monster, The Red Turtle. What was Red Turtle? Okay, let me rephrase that. Shows like Monster, Violet Evergarden, Samurai Jack. The kind of shows that take animation as a serious art form and use it to enhance visual storytelling. Talking about movies like Inside Out. Like The Wild Robot, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, The Prince of Egypt, those kind of movies say how animation isn't just some children's fodder. It's actually it's not a genre; it's a medium that can be used to tell any kind of story, and the creativity of animation warrants that any kind of storytelling you could think of. It's not just kids stuff. It could be a crime drama. It could be some fantasy epic. It could be some low fantasy thing. It could be immense sci-fi. It's pretty much anything you want it to be. It can achieve the kind of things that live action can find quite tricky to depict in regards to some more abstract concepts. So it definitely has that potential, and so just seeing this project, this Genesis project, I think it would be a great to see this kind of stuff out there. And because Prince of Egypt is one of my all-time favorite movies, and I want to see more entertainment like that. So this is our opportunity, gentlemen.
Hey, so this one person asked me a question. I don't know if you know. I don't personally really know the answer, but I mean, I guess I could bring it up here if you want to try to answer it.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Wondering the difference between fantasy and occultism.
Right, fantasy and occultism. Now, this actually caters back to that whole video that we made where I was talking about the history of fantasy and as it pertains to the church's interaction with the genre, how it actually developed through the influence of the church as far back as Paul in many nuanced ways. How fantasy is a Christian invention. If you actually break down how the history works, you'll have to listen to that whole video in order to understand it. But to make a long story short, the difference between fantasy and occultism is that fantasy, well, by its very definition, it's imagination. It's whatever you want it to be. Occultism obviously describes, the devil worship, devil, supernatural stuff, because obviously there's a difference between the supernatural gifts and powers of the Lord God, and how Satan tries to take that supernatural essence and distort it to destructive means, and that destructive essence is what is occultism. And people have embraced the occult to the detriment of their own souls. That's actually something that Christopher Lee brought up in interviews. He said in interviews, and this is an actor who's taken part in several movies, telling great stories. Like he's done various horror movies. He's done Lord of the Rings, and other stuff like that. And he said in an interview, he's actually taken time to investigate and to understand the occult. And he warned people, never, ever, ever go into the occult. And he said in the interview, not only will you lose your mind, you will lose your soul. So obviously, if you actually listen to Christopher Lee's personal life, he was actually a practicing Catholic, and he sounds like a man who knows what he's talking about. Obviously, he sounds like the kind of gentleman who can differentiate between fantasy and occultism. The ultimate question, the question really boils down to what is the source of your supernatural power? Because anything that is supernaturally good comes from God, and if your supernatural power isn't coming from God, then where else could it be? That's basically I hope, a very self-evidential question. In the Lord of the Rings, the characters like Gandalf, Galadriel, all other characters I can mention, through the nuanced writing, essentially get their supernatural powers from God, and they're fighting off against occultic evil. And the same can be said for the likes of C.S. Lewis's stories and other aspiring authors. Basically, the reason why this question is often thrown up is because of the term magic, which, I admit, used to confuse me to the point where I was spitting about it. I had a friend of mine, it was Malika Ganji, helped me to interpret it. She told me that basically the term magic was used because it was she's guessed that it was a way of helping to reach out to the pagans to use terms that they could understand to communicate these higher lessons. That was exactly Paul's approach in Acts 17 verses 27 to 28. That's the foundational source of how I interpret fantasy, you see. It's that essence of using terms that opposing cultures are familiar with, and using the beauty therein to point back to God. So through discernment, you have to realize the beauty is there. You just have to go out of your way to help people understand that. That's exactly why we benefit from having stories like The Lord of the Rings and the Chronicles of Narnia out there in the pop cultural hemisphere, in many ways, gentlemen. So, I suppose the difference between fantasy and occultism really depends on how you approach it. Obviously, we want to use our fantasies for the good of the Lord God Almighty, to inspire people's imaginations to seek the supernatural good, if you get what I mean.
Okay, here, I'll ask. Okay, I probably gotta go in here soon, but I'll ask you one more question while I'm at it. So,
Right.
what is your opinion about depicting God in like fiction or fantasy?
Uh, hmm, that's an interesting question. Well, depicting God in fiction. Well, every single storyteller in existence has done that by default. It doesn't have to be restricted to fantasy. It can be like in sci-fi and in slice of life stuff. I mean, it could vary. I mean, people are by default are going to have varied, different views on God, even if it's the same God that they're interpreting. It's well, maybe I mean everyone has a relationship with God to some degree or another, and everyone has this innate revelation that He is. But obviously, people, through life experiences and through emotional ups and downs, they're going to interpret God fairly differently, for better or for worse, whether they struggle or not, or all the stuff that comes with that. Everybody suffers. Everybody goes through that kind of thing. But regardless of how God's depicted, well, naturally, you're going to have some storytellers who are less biblically literate than others, and other storytellers who are more biblically literate than others. Or maybe you'll get some storytellers who, by some strange fate, seem to unintentionally interpret God better than some other storytellers through various means or whatnot. So, yeah, you're going to get a whole wild hodgepodge of different interpretations. So, yeah, I mean, it's fairly interesting to say the least. I suppose in regards to overt visual depictions of God, Scripture does mention that God Himself came in the form of the like what was called the angel of God, and there's various interpretations of that, but He essentially came in the form of a what's called a theophany, God appearing in a veiled form, and I should mention that God permitted the Jewish people to create a veil representing God's flesh and stuff like that, and Christ is God incarnate, and it's the original context of Scripture even says that Jesus is the image of God. I remember spinning about this particular topic and just like approaching this topic like I was walking on eggshells because I was so afraid of like committing idolatry. But Malika really humbled me to say that to tell me like, look, you need to get rooted in grace first. With grace, you don't need to focus on treating everything as if you're stepping on eggshells. You need to approach it relationally. Now, at the time, I was absolutely terrified of relationship because that involved the risk of heartbreak, and I didn't want my heart to break again. But that's a whole other topic. I need to get back on track. In regards to the depiction of God, so I suppose you have the Orthodox crowd who really go all the way with the consistent end of the verse, Jesus is the image of God. They got all those icons that, they don't worship the icons. They put them to a high standard for the purpose of pointing them up to the high heavens, and I suppose that's the ideal. However you depict God, that's the ideal virtue you'd want to have, right? Whatever I suppose. Well, that principality really applies to all the art that we are trying to make, right? Whatever art you make, it must point up. It needs to point to the divine. It needs to point to what's beautiful, to the virtuous, to what's hopeful, to what's eternal, to what's timeless. Because if you're pointing to anything lower just for its own sake, well, that's finite and that's going to be dated. So what are you doing, mate? So in regards to God being depicted, okay, maybe this wasn't quite the answer you expected, but I guess it's the most theologically consistent answer I can think of in that regard, Phil.
All right. Yeah. So Ace, well, what's your opinion on this? I know you're kind of a little quiet, but
Well, like whenever it comes to like depicting God in movies, like, personally don't really see anything wrong with it. Because I mean, if you ever watched the Blood of Christ, I mean that's a beautifully made. Uh, I think that's a beautifully made story of Christ.
Which one are you talking about? Sorry.
It's just you gotta make sure it's biblical.
Yeah.
It's biblically sound as
Yeah.
to make it. You know.
Yeah. I should probably emphasize something I probably should have mentioned is that it's not encouraged at all to try to visually depict God the Father. There's a reason why he came in veiled forms of Jesus Christ and the angel of God, because you can't restrict God the Father to any particular image at all. Not even like an image of like the universe. Like God is so, God the Father is so immense. Like he transcends pretty much everything. He's to be understood in in regards to relational context. Um, well, of course, the visual representation of that is Jesus Christ himself, as well as the Holy Spirit that comes in the form of a dove. So it would also help to study religious iconography and and imagery in general. You know, like the halos, the doves, the lion, the lambs, the divine light, angelic beings, miraculous powers, miraculous deeds, so on and so forth, really help with that kind of thing. And obviously, depicting God will really depend on keeping the characteristics consistent with what's been described in the scriptures.
Hey, Jeffrey, you still there?
Yes.
Hey, do you have any opinions on this? Also, I guess.
I don't know if there's a huge problem like trying to like the movie The Chosen. They have a character named Jesus on there. Um, I think there's a bigger issue trying to depict God the Father. Um, I think you have to be very, very careful.
Yeah.
Because there's two reasons you got to be very careful. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, you know, number one, you need to be sensitive to um what the scripture says about Jesus. Number
Yeah.
one, in
Yeah.
God. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
And number two, he should not be Jesus should not be depicted as this uh person that looks like um how can I say this? Looks like a model. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. That doesn't be a common trope, like Jesus looking like some kind of shampoo hair model.
Right,
um,
right, right, right. Because if you I've always found this I've always found this kind of ironic. Every character of Jesus Christ is not really what I would call a good reputation of him, because if he was in carpenter work, I would say that he was fairly in shape, had decent
yeah,
toned muscles
yeah,
for a person in that day. Because remember, in those days, you did not have all the machinery that we have now. Okay.
exactly, exactly,
Okay. So most of the things that they did was by hand.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he's not he's not Ryan Seacrest. Okay. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a good fair reference, and certainly because of that, inevitably you're gonna have some portrayals of Jesus that are way better than others. I suppose on the topic of what Jesus would look like, I should probably give some input based on all that I understand. Yeah, he'd probably have well-toned muscles, given the fact that he's worked in carpentry. So yeah, he'd be a man's man, as it were. Yeah, man of my own heart.
Well, all
Uh,
those men would have being toned muscles because
all
they,
right.
if some of those apostles were fishermen, okay, they
Yeah.
did not have. It's not like they went out there with a fishing rod. They did it by nets,
Yeah.
okay,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
those nets weighed a ton if they
Uh,
brought in a good amount of fish in,
They're
okay.
not. They're not going to pull themselves.
Right. And so they have these Bible characters as like they're Ryan Seacrest or they are, Tom Cruise type deals, and it's just
Yeah.
not true.
Uh, I mean, I'd imagine due to the nature of human comedy stuff back then, that I would imagine like not everyone would get into shape, as it were. But obviously, due to terms and conditions, they would probably have to get into shape in order to adjust to the harshness of life. And Jesus would be well toned, muscly speaking. Um, and I suppose no, I don't know what he looks like, but from what I understand, he was born in Bethlehem, born of to be in the family of Mary and Joseph, raised in the Middle East, temporarily lived in Egypt before going back to the Middle East, um, and the scripture described him as not really having beauty that we would desire him. So he would. So back in the day, he wouldn't look like a typical shampoo advert guru guy. He
Right.
pretty much he pretty much looked like just pretty much any other average Joe back in the day. And yet I would imagine he would have like these deeply compassionate eyes and stuff like that. In fact, there was this kid who had a near death experience, and he said he saw Jesus face to face, and he has a talent in making paintings from memory, and so he used that talent to paint the face of Jesus as he saw in his near death experience, and he seemed to have a short hair, beard, stuff like that. Deeply compassionate eyes. Yeah, the compassionate daddy, compassionate father. Um, that seems about right. I mean, honestly, I even if that's inaccurate, I don't care what his skin color is. I don't care what he looks like. What matters is who he is, what he's done for us, and what he means and his significance for all of us at the end of the day.
That was pretty deep. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I gotta get going here, but if you want to say anything else to wrap this up, otherwise,
Yeah, I think I've pretty much said everything I need to say. I think I need to get started with a live stream
Well,
of
I appreciate it. We'll have to do this again in the near future, and I
yeah,
appreciate it.
build the brethren up. Yeah.
appreciate it.
Right. Thanks for the random conversation talk. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Yeah. Good
Good
night.
night.